look at sorting, filtering, and grouping, which will help you to navigate your way through data. So let's start with sorting. So I have a list of individual topics that are used in sorting. So there are different types of sorting based on different types of data or properties of the data. And then we are going to use filtering as well. So let's start with sorting the date. So I have a sample data. It's very small data so that you can see exactly what we are doing while we are doing it. And let's start with the date. So uh, I have this date column, right? And I can I can initiate um, filtering using Control Shift L on Mac and Windows both. Okay, so so when I did Control Shift L, it basically enabled me to have sorting and filtering options, and it will also show me the all the unique values that are available. Right. Uh, I can also use or I can also go to Data tab and use this filter option. So if I click on it, it removes the filter, and if I click on it again, it applies the filter. Right. Right now the filter option is enabled, but nothing has been filtered yet, right? Uh, and the same option also helps you to sort the data, right? So first is date, which is this column. So if I click on this drop down, you would see I have sorting option of ascending and descending. So remember, dates are numeric in nature, and when we say ascending order, it basically means the oldest date to the newest date, and descending means the latest date to the oldest date, right? So when I do ascending here, it sorts the data in ascending order. So the oldest date comes first and the latest date that is available in the data comes last, right? We have more options regarding the date, but we'll look into those in the exercises. Text sorting. So like we have in the dictionary A to Z. Uh, it's the sorting order of the English alphabet. So you have the names here, which is the text column. And if I do sorting here, ascending, it sorts the entire table based on column D, which is for the text, right? I can do the same thing here, ascending, and if you look at closely, C comes before E and it is sorted. Of course, more letters you have in the world, it will exactly work like you experience in a dictionary. And numeric sorting, again, it's very simple. The smallest number comes first, the largest number comes later, and you can also do the descending. And then you have numeric text, which is a very special case where you have numbers, but those are not actually numbers, those are actually text. So phone number, even though it's a number, it doesn't make sense to have numerical operations on this number, right? So one phone number plus the other phone number doesn't make sense, right? So those kind of numbers, we actually call them uh, numeric text, right? Like when we sort numeric text, it works exactly like how exactly like text, right? I'll show you an example because I custom created one small detail, which is this number, so that I can show you exactly what it means. So if I sort column H in ascending order, you would see that this number, which is a smaller number because it contains 9 digits instead of 10, comes second. Why does it happen? If you look closely, the first number and the second number, up to 24, they are exactly same, but after 24 we have triple one here and 19 here, right? Because 9 is greater than 1 in um, in text, it basically considers the second number larger than the first number, and that's why the first number comes first and the smaller number comes later. Even though it's a smaller numeric value, Excel right now recognizes this number as text, and that's why it is treating the sorting as it would consider the text sorting. Then we have wildcard sorting. Then we have wildcard sorting, and wildcard sorting is a special case where we can use wildcards in order to identify some pattern in the data and group them as one compared to the others, and then use that result to sort the values, right? Let's look at one example. Um, First, let's understand what is a wildcard. Wildcard is pattern matching, which tells us or which helps us to identify a certain pattern in the data, right? So let's take the department column, and let me create a column here so that we have better visibility. Okay, so the use case that I'm going to take is the letter T, right? So what I want to do is I want to take all the departments that has letter T, and I want to group them together as one and the rest of them as something else, and then use that number to sort or group the data together, right? So what I want to do is IT, marketing. These are the two different departments that has T in their name, and I want when I sort like my formula or the result of the formulas, I want IT and marketing to be up to appear first and then others later, right? So let's say let's use a function which is called search, and I want to find T within this text. Okay, you would see error there, but you would also see 2626, which basically means that letter T appears in the second position in department IT, and it appears as sixth position in department marketing, right? Now I can use if error, okay, to say uh, let's say 999, okay, and like this, right? Now I can rename this column to sort column and use this column to sort the values, right? So you would see that IT marketing comes first and rest I don't care uh, like in what order do they come, but since they don't contain the letter T in them, I don't care about whether they come like in what order. I just want them to appear uh, after IT and marketing, right? So this is just an example, and this is very like this is just a dummy example, and this will help you to understand like how you can use wildcard sorting in different cases. Okay, multi-column sorting. So let's go back to the previous version of the data. Okay, so in the data tab you have sort here, right? And what you can do is when you click on sort, it will give you a window which will have uh, a lot of options, right? My list has headers or not, so you can choose to have no headers or headers, and then you can add multiple columns here, right? So you can sort by, let's say, department first, and then you can sort by names, and then you can sort by salary, right? And here you can choose on like what order of sorting do you want, right? Do you want to sort on the values, color, font, or icons? And do you want from A to Z or A to Z or Z to A, right? And so on. So if I click OK, it will first sort by department. Within each department, it will sort by name, and within each name, it will sort by salary. like this, right? So department and then name and then salaries, right? Obviously, you would see that salaries, some higher salaries are coming first. It is because it is first sorting department, and then within each value of department, it is sorting names, right? And then within each name, it is sorting by salary. And since there are unique names in the data, there is no particular sorting that is happening on the salary column in this case. So that was multi-column sorting. Okay, and then slices. What we can do is we can insert a table with this data, and what we can do is we can insert slices into this data. So for example, department, right? It looks pleasing as well. So I can rearrange the slicer to match the size of the data. And now I can choose finance, HR, IT, marketing, and basically slice the data in the form that I want to, right? L- Let me convert this back into range. Okay. And then we have cell and font color, right? So it's a good thing that we converted this into a table first and then range, because the color is there and I can use this color to basically sort the data. So let me use Control Shift L. Okay, and now when I click on one of the drop downs, I have the option within sort section, I have the option by color. Okay, I have cell color option here, right? And then I can say I can click on the colors that are available, and you would see that the data has been sorted by the color of this cell, right? So let me try and use a font color here. So let's take this color, that these cells, and change the color to something else. Okay, I can go into this drop down again by color. Okay, and then you would see that the font color option has been activated, and I can use this and sort the data by this color, right? So that was cell and font color sorting. Okay, so the final one is using formulas. So we have sort and sort by formulas, using which we can sort the data. So let's look at sort. So let's take this data only, right? And now I can choose to have the first column to sort, and sort order will be ascending or descending. Let's choose ascending. Okay, and then close. And you would see that the data that I selected has been sorted by the first column, right? Uh, yes, correct. So 8, 8. Okay. And then I can choose second column. Okay, and you would see that the data has been sorted by the second column, right? And then we have sort by. Okay, I'll choose the same data. Okay, by array 1. By array basically tells us that you want to sort this data based on a different column instead of just using the same data from the same column, right? So I can choose this, right? And sort order will be ascending or descending. Let's say ascending. Okay, and then I close the bracket. Okay, now let's see what is happening. If you look closely, this is the array that we selected in order to sort the data. So what is the smallest number here? It will be 76702, right? And you will see the corresponding row has been the first row in the resulting data set. After 767, what is the next row? It is 776 for Quincy, right? And this is your second row, and so on, right? So let's recap. Sort by. Sort by takes a table or a range, and it takes another array, right? It sorts the data table that we have selected based on the by array column that we have selected separately. Okay, and then you can choose to have it sorted in ascending or descending order. Right? So that was sorting for you.